Hello, and today I've been asked to actually give a demonstration of how to fix a puncture. And this actually came in from one of my mates, Jeff, who I don't think has probably ridden a bike for about 6 months, but anyway. So I'm going to today show you how to fix a puncture and what you should take with you on a ride when you have one. So first of all, we need to have a puncture. So let's make this have a puncture. So I'm going to do a rear wheel change because it's harder. So that's down. Right, first thing to do when you have a puncture, make sure you change your bike down into the lowest gear. There we go. This just makes it a little bit easier when you're taking the wheel out. On this bike, we've got a Shimano brake. So what you want to do here is you want to open the lever up, and that will bring the brakes out a little bit. And also, if you've got a Campo Nolo lever, you'll see up here, there's a button on the inside which you can press in, and that actually opens up the lever a little bit more, which gives you even more cable to open the brakes up even further, which actually is quite a good thing on this. Right, now we flip the bike. Right, now take the wheel off. So undo the quick release a little bit. And then what I do over here is I put my thumb onto the rear derailleur, push the rear derailleur back, and then pull the wheel. And it just flips out. Pull the chain up a little bit and take the wheel out. So that's taking the wheel off. Now you can see, the tyre is down. So when we take a on a ride, I tend to have, I've got an old bottle that I've actually converted into a toolkit, and I tend to take one or two. I tend to take two spare inner tubes with me on a ride. And in here I also have tyre levers, and I have gas and gas canisters, and also it's good to have a mini pump. And these are pretty good tyre levers, so I'm going to use these today. So first of all, what I tend to do, I tend to move around to the side of the wheel, or what the other opposite direction to where the valve is, and then you put the tyre lever in and try and fit it underneath the tyre. Now this is quite stiff. This is a brand new tyre on a brand new wheel. Now when you get the first one in, you see it's quite stiff. But you can move it across and you can actually get it, flick it, the first one, onto the spoke, which holds it in place. And then you need to get another one in. Ooh. Trust me, this is not easy. Another one in, right? Now it starts to come off. Now, second one is in, you move around and look, the tyre comes off. So there we go, that is the tyre off. Right, now the tyre's off, you can see the inner tube inside. This has got a latex inner tube in, which is why it is green, but you can use whatever you like. Black one is the butyl ones, normal. These are slightly better for rolling resistance. This is a latex tube. So you go around, all the way around to the valve, you flick it open over, and you pull the old one out. At this point in time, it's a good idea to go around and check what actually punctured your tyre. So you go around the inside of the rim, feeling around, looking for any indentations on your tyre, and find whatever went in it. So if it was a thorn, a piece of glass, you need to find the bugger. Because if you don't find it, you'll have another puncture again in about 10 minutes later. And tell me, it happens to the best of us. So once you've found the offending item, push it out, get it out, make sure you've got it gone. And one way to check is also just to take the inner tube. If you can't find it and you're really struggling, is to pump the inner tube up with the pump, and then you can hear where the gas is coming, where the air is coming out, and then try and locate that on the tyre. And that's why you should ideally line a tyre up with the name in line with the hole, because then it's easier to sort of locate where everything's going to go. Anyway, so we've pretended we had a puncture anyway, so we haven't really got one, so we haven't got to take anything out of the tyre. Now we're just going to go with the reverse and put everything back again. So take our new inner tube, this is effectively our new inner tube that has not got a puncture, and we put it back in. So gradually work around the tyre, flick it into the inside, just get that sitting nicely. If it's a brand new inner tube, which it probably will be, what's good to do is also just to add a little bit of air to it before you put it in, just so it's got a little bit of give. Now we go back and we need to start putting the tyre back on. Now this is going to be stiff because, as I said, this is a brand new tyre on a brand new wheel, but we can get it probably some of the way there. We may need to use a lever to get it back on, which is not advisable, but I'm going to show you how to do it like that anyway, because I don't want to break my hands. So anyway, so you can, if you're strong, which I'm not because I'm a weak cyclist, you can gradually pull this over, right, as much as you can with your hands. At some point it will suddenly click and it'll be really easy. But it's not very easy. It's going. Great. My camera woman is having a laugh watching me get this over. You gotta push and shove it. You will get it. Oh, there we go. So I actually did manage to get it on without using a tyre lever. Whew. Now, if you're struggling to get it on and it's really hard, because it can be tough to get it on, sometimes use the tyre lever almost in reverse, just to try and flick it on. But be super careful because you can get the tyre stuck on the inner tube inside. If that does happen, what's a good idea is to pump up the tyre a little bit just to get it going, and just check that the inner tube is nicely seated. So anyway, look, I'm going to put this on here. Gosh, I haven't used this one, but let's get a bit of air going. So as you're getting it pumped up, I'm using the pump just to show you, but obviously if you're outside and you've got a gas canister, gas takes you 5 seconds. Right. So there's a bit of air in there, not a lot, but I just wanted to give you an example. Looks like everything's sat in very nicely, no problem at all. Right, so I haven't got much air in there, but you keep pumping that up until you've got it really, really hard, and then you've got to put the wheel back in. So let's get the wheel back in. So just the reverse of what we did before. So come here to the wheel, lift the chain up, and put it onto that gear number one that we had it in before. Then take the back end of the rear derailleur and just flick it up, and the wheel will go down. And you've got to line it up in the bottom there next, so it goes in between the brakes, and then push it in. It should be pretty firm now. And then we do up the skewer. Oh, a bit too much. So it's nice and tight. Right. Just turn the pedal, check the wheels in straight, all looks good. Then we flip it over, lined up with the brakes, close the brakes again, close it at the top, and just check that it's not, it looks like the the wheel isn't in quite straight. So then, now I've got it back into place, just open it up the thing again, just check that it's all in okay. Looks good. Looks like I may have knocked the brake a little bit, so I'm just going to adjust the brake like that. Make sure it's central. There we go. All good to go. And that's how you fix a puncture.